this new Arabic lesson with me, Maha. Today's lesson is about the derived verbs. We are at the derived verb number 4. You can count it as 3 or 4, it depends on where you start. But this is the 4th lesson on the derived verbs. Today's derived verb is the verb af'ala. The root is af'ala. Remember, derived verbs are the verbs that I told you that contain more than 3 letters, 3 root letters. You know that 90% of our Arabic verbs, you already know that, but I'm gonna just say it quickly. 90% of the Arabic verbs in Arabic, they contain only 3 letters, and we have 9 categories of other verbs that are called derived verbs, and those are the ones that have more letters, like 4 up to 6 letters. What is the function of the derived verbs? They mean sometimes the same thing as the normal 3-letter normal simple verb, but they have some extra meaning, extra grammatical function, let's call it. Today's verb is af'ala. The extra grammatical function that we add to all of the verbs that follow this pattern, af'ala, is causative. Like I cause somebody to do something. So it's a causative function. I'll give you examples so it makes my explanation better and you will understand me better than just saying causative. It looks, by the way, a lot like the verb fa'ala, which is category number 2. It really sounds the same. It doesn't sound the same, but it functions exactly the same as grammatically speaking, it's the same extra feature to the derived verb, which is causativity, cause something. So I'm not doing something by myself, but I'm causing somebody else to do it, okay? Or make you do something instead of do it myself. Reflexive, it's causative. For example, remember our root for this the pattern for this derived verb is af'ala, so we add just alif to the root letters. Let's take example the simple verb kharaja. 3 letters. Kharaja means to exit. خرجت من الغرفة. I exited the room. خرجت من المدرسة. I exited the school. الطالب خرج من البيت. The student exited the house, went out. So خرج just to exit. You exit, I exit normally. If I make it into this derived verb of today, which is af'ala. So what I do is I add this at the beginning, it becomes akhraja. What is the meaning of akhraja? Kharaja means to go out, to exit. Akhraja is to make something go out, to make something exit, or literally to expel, or like practically to expel, to make something go out. So for example, أنا أخرجت يدي من الشنطة. أخرجت يدي من الشنطة. What is the meaning of أخرجت يدي من الشنطة? يدي means my hand. من, it means from or of. شنطة, bag. So if I say أخرجت يدي, my hand, من الشنطة, from the bag, so I expelled, so I took out my hand. Why didn't I say أنا خرجت? أنا خرجت is I exited myself. I exited from the bag. Did I exit from the bag, or did I make my hand exit out of the bag? So this is like just a literal explanation, a logical explanation for you to understand how these verbs work. Of course, we never say I exited my hand like in English, or neither in Arabic. I exited my hand from the Shanta. But this is how Arabic works, and this shows you how logical and wonderful this language is. It's like crazy. It makes me crazy. I love it. And it's not because it's my language. I've been telling you this forever. It's a real logical language. Whatever question that you have in mind and you ask your Arabic teacher, she has, or she should have a perfect logical explanation behind like to explain to you and to answer all of your questions. So it's really good for you, if you want to really learn Arabic, is to understand how it functions and not learn by heart. Many Arabic learners, they just they let go. They can't handle anymore the difficulty of the language because maybe they approach it in a wrong way. If you approach it into like opening the book and trying to memorize verbs, memorize conjugations, no. You have to understand how the language functions, and you will like when you understand. This works for me. When I understand something, I memorize it right away. I don't go and memorize things. So Anyways, and this is very good for you because Arabic is logical and has all the logical answers to any of your questions and doubts. So these verbs, they function exactly like they give you, they are pure example of what I just said, of how logic the language is. So أخرج, I'll give you another example so you understand it more, and I'll give you a list of verbs that follow this function, this pattern. So أفعل is our pattern. I give you the example of خرج, to exit, أخرج, to make something exit or to expel. Another verb, for example, the verb سمع. سمع is to listen. أنا سمعت الموسيقى. I listened to music. أنا سمعت الموسيقى. I listen. سمع. سمع is also to hear, not listen, sorry. I heard music. سمعت الموسيقى. سمعت صوتك. سمعت صوتك. I heard your صوت, your voice. سمعت صوتك. If I say أسمعت ليلى الموسيقى, what is the meaning? أسمعت. What did I do? I took the simple verb سمع, to listen or to hear, سمع, and I made it into the causative using this pattern, adding the a, أسمع. So أفعل becomes أسمع. سمع means to hear. أسمع is to make hear, to make you hear, to make you listen to. So أسمعت ليلى الموسيقى, it's not that I heard Layla music, no, I made Layla hear سمع الموسيقى. أسمعتها صوتي, I made her hear my voice. أسمعتكم صوتي, I made you سمع hear صوتي. أسمعتكم. So أسمع, it's a verb that follows the pattern أفعل, which adds to the simple verb like سمع, to hear, the causativity, to make hear. أسمع. So I'm going to give you a list also of other verbs, popular verbs that work, that follow this same pattern, and show you the difference between the simple three-letter verb, the normal meaning of the verb, and the additional grammatical function in this, which is in this one, the causativity, to make. All right. I hope you like these this series of lessons. It's a treasure for Arabic intermediate learners, so they get to know more and more verbs and the function and how the language works. So this is good. All right, I want you to share this video with your friends that are learning Arabic and the ones that are not, because maybe they get interested by hearing how logical the language is, and they are not anymore discouraged, you know. You encourage them to learn such a difficult, it is a difficult language but very logical. You're gonna love it. All right, so I want you to share it, subscribe to my channel, of course, like it, comment below more verbs if you have any doubts. I will continue, of course, this series of verbs with more patterns to come. We are at lesson 4, so pattern form, so we still have 6 to go. So I'll see you in the following Arabic lesson with me, Maha, from this series which is the Arabic Derived Verbs. Yalla, bye, مع السلامة.